Hello and welcome to another Sunny Days video. Today we have got a Sangeam FM stereo, medium wave, long wave, short wave, cassette PL synthesized world receiver on the bench today. Now this was also rebranded as the realistic DX392, the Roberts I think it was RC825 or 818, I can't remember. But this is the actual company that actually made it, which was the Sangeam ATS 818CS. Now what this is a world band receiver with a cassette recorder. Now you may be wondering, why is he repairing something like this? I have good reason to look at this, because if you look at this one, it's got a digital tuner, okay, digital display, not DAB, analog tuner with the digital display. It's got direct key access. It's got a lot of functions which you may not find in any other radio cassette recorder. It is quite small and compact. It has got a fair bit of weight to it. I mean, in the UK we have noticed this as a Tandy Radio Shack realistic product. Now what I'll be doing with this today is I'll be taking this apart, washing the covers, cleaning it all out, cleaning the potentiometers, and there's a modification on there which is recommended, which I've seen in many of the threads, that enables the radio not to go into mute. Now a lot of people have actually come up with this mod. I am going to have a look at it today. There's a lot of functions on there which you don't get in most tape recorders. Now you've got sleep function, so you can get the radio to sleep. We've got clock, we've got dual time, and we've got loads of other things which we'll go into at a later stage. Now before we go on, it works with 4 main batteries, which is 6 volts, and 3 batteries for the clock. On the back here you have a map of all the countries. It is a world band radio. It's got short waves. I don't know how many short waves it's actually got, but I mean that will be evident. But today we'll be taking this thing apart and we're having a look at inside of it, because that's what we do. We open products up, we have a look inside, we repair them, we service them, we put them back together, and then we use them. Right, okay, so without further ado, let's start. Battery compartment is reasonably good, so I'll move you forward a bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Right, okay, so made in Taiwan, okay. We need to get a screwdriver that will go into here. I don't think this is not going to go in there, neither is this. So I have to find a suitable screwdriver. Okay. Let me just go and find a screwdriver that will go on there to open it up. one here. Yeah, that opens it up. Just got to be very careful we don't strip any of the screw heads. It's not magnetized, this screwdriver, which is really a shame because... Oh, it is, okay. That one's not coming out. Oh, right, it is. Right, okay. So in the middle here, we got another one. This is nothing like the Grundig which you saw yesterday. I mean, if you want a shortwave radio, go for Grundig. Some of these old Grundigs are really, really good. I've actually got one. I've got the RR... oh, there's a screw missing here. Look at that. Looks like this has been opened before. Yeah, I've got Grundig that's also got a tape recorder in it, but I mean, that is a very high quality product. I mean, right, have we got a hidden screw hiding away here somewhere? No, we haven't. Right, okay. So now what we can do, we should be able to lift off this cover. If there's no other screws. Okay. Right. Okay, so here we are. Right, it's pretty clean inside. See the tape deck there. It hasn't got that good a speaker, to be honest with you. Well, that's the guts to the unit. As you can see here, there's a massive board on the back. I think probably the first thing to do is to take some pictures of the internals. Like we always do, we take pictures. Right, let me just take some pictures. Right. Some pictures of the wiring. See where everything goes. I think that's about it. I think that these wires here, they're actually the aerial wires, so I don't really think I need to remove these, but we'll undo these two connectors, these screws, and let's see what we've got here. Right, before we do anything, right. Okay, so this is the main board at the bottom there, so ATS, right, okay, so take our screws. There's one here as well. The modification, I think it's here somewhere, which I'm going to have a look at on the... What I want to do is I'm actually going to see first of all whether I actually need that modification or not. Right, so I think I need to remove the knob. Right, okay. Have I missed a screw somewhere? Okay. Right, okay. Right, so here we are. A lot of the things are actually plugged in. The belt seems to be reasonable, but I'm not worried about that at this stage. Okay. I'm not going to take anything off unnecessarily, because I can see some of these connectors here. If you take these off, then you'll probably have issues putting them back in. This knob will have to come off. It's actually plugged in, which is quite good. So let's start removing some plugs from here. Now this is for the tape deck. Okay. That's your okay. No, you can't put two of them in the wrong place. We have this one here. Okay. Alright, we have that one there. Okay. Okay, so this probably needs to come off. Right, so that's our tuning thing. We'll put a bit of switch cleaner in there once we put it back. I'm not going to touch any of these ones here, because I might do more harm than good. What else do we have? Right, this wire here will have to be removed. This wire here will have to be removed, desoldered, so we'll have to desolder that wire. Okay. That enables us to remove that. Now we've also got the speaker here. Now the speaker isn't plugged in. So what we have here now, we have a few bus bar connectors, a few ribbon cables here, which I'm not going to touch. I probably need to remove the front I can see a problem here already. Look at this. We have bulging capacitors. Look at that. So we need to replace some of these caps in there. Alright, I'll have to see what value that cap is. It's probably off the power supply. So we've got our work cut out a little bit. So let's disconnect. We'll disconnect the speaker. Now the positive wire, the red wire, is actually on the minus on this one. It doesn't really matter because it's mono, but Shows you how cheap things are getting now that the 90s are kicking in. See, I personally don't like to deal with newer products. I mean, this is alright, it's mid-range. And we've got a microphone here, which we can come off. Okay, so the next thing we need to take off is, we've got a little buzzer here, a little piezo transducer. That's probably for the alarm. So that will have to come out. I've never worked on any of these before. I mean, I've seen them, I've never worked on them. Let's disconnect, let's remove the speaker from here and see how good or bad it actually is. I mean, it's a 4 ohm 4 watt speaker, but okay, it's not a bad speaker after all. It's got bass reflex, it's got foam. Okay, so that's not disappointing. Right, once we get the circuit boards out, then we can take the tape deck off last, and we can have a look at it. Now, I need to take off the front knobs, which are reasonably easy to take off. I thought I would really have to struggle to take these off, but no. We are going into the 90s. Right, now what we've got is we've got to remove some of these. I'm going to leave this as it is now. We need to remove some of these screws to take this front board out. That's probably the processor board. I don't know what else we'll have to remove. As I said, I've never actually worked on this before. I've seen it, not in person, but online. I've never actually worked on this before. I don't know how good or bad it is, so. The tape deck is actually not what I'm used to. It's actually a little bit different. This should lift off now. Yeah, it is coming out. I don't know whether I have to remove. No. Here we are. Okay, so we've got, let's leave that there. We've got this connector here, which is actually the ribbon cable for the LEDs, which are at the front. That's to do with the tape deck. Okay, there we are. So there we are, guys. That's the circuitry out. Got to make sure we don't damage any of the ribbon cables off here. Right, so what capacitor have we got? Okay. Yeah, that cap definitely needs to be replaced, so we'll have to do some recapping on here as well. Which is a shame, because I wanted just it to be a normal... Okay, so we'll have to do some recapping. So this is a speaker, is it? That's probably the amplifier. So that's probably your amplifier. We'll work out what make this amplifier actually is. Okay, so here we are, guys. Leave that there for a minute. Okay, so now we have to think about if there's anything loose on there. Now all these buttons are actually loose, so we have to remove these buttons, otherwise we will lose them. All these little buttons need to come out. Okay. Right, this one here doesn't come off, so we don't really need to worry about this. Will it come off though? Can it come off? It probably can. I think for now we'll just leave it because I don't want to damage it. So here we are. The next thing to do is to remove the cassette deck. Right, hold the screws out. Right, let's press eject. Now this should lift itself out with this as well. There you go. Right, let's have a look at this. Wow. Is this a stereo? Okay. It's not really what I'm used to. I mean, I'm normally used to, you know, the Tenation mechanisms, but this seems to be, I don't know whether this is a variant of Tenation or not, but it seems to be quite interesting is the right word for it. Okay, so there we are. I think the belt probably does need to be replaced. It's not really that bad at the moment. Oh yeah, it is bad, look. and so is that. Right, so it needs a new set of belts. Okay, so let's start putting these things on the table. Okay, so here we are, guys. So what I have done today is I've taken the I think there's one last thing I have to do before I forget. Right. I won't touch this one. Normally I'd like to take them off, but no, since the last experience I had. So here we are, guys. On the table we can see all the parts for this little unit. So we got our case, we got our circuitry. The next episode we will be having a look at what we can do. I think what we'll have to probably do is start doing a bit of recapping on those boards, because they do need some recapping. Let's put this away. I need to remove this. Okay. I need to remove, I think, one screw, if I'm not mistaken. One screw off here. Okay, so okay. Okay, so there we are. So yeah, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start cleaning some of this stuff off, and let's have a quick look at this board before I go on. These come off, do they? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.